The September 2022 Marvel and DC solicitations came out the end of last week. I'm just now getting to them, so today you'll get the Marvel one. Tomorrow you'll get DC. This might be the shortest solicitation video about Marvel comics I've ever done because a lot of those comic books are being resolicited from August of 2022. Obviously, I covered those last month. I'm going to go over all the resolicitations and kind of the mistakes that Marvel Comics are making right now. I'm going to talk about Marvel Comics by the number. If you're a Spider-Man fan, how much is it going to cost you? If you're an X-Men fan, you're getting treated worse than anybody right now. It's almost like being a Batman fan. We're going to talk about AXE Judgement Day. How much are they going to cost you? How much are you going to be in for? How many issues are going to come out? Then we'll get into the solicitations themselves. I will skip all the stuff that I've already talked about if I can remember to. And then I have my lead pipe lock of the month. You should have a little bit of fun. This probably won't last 25, 30 minutes. Hopefully we'll be able to keep it down to about 20 minutes. You might want to get a refreshment. I say go grab you a fresh lemonade, maybe a Long Island iced tea if you're an adult. And let's have a little bit of fun here talking about Marvel Comics September 2022 solicitation plans. Now let's talk about all these delays and resolicits. Marvel Comics September 2022 solicitations actually include a significant number of titles that have been resolicited from their originally announced August 2022 release dates. 31 titles in total. Marvel Comics hasn't offered any statement on the matter, but comic book release dates move around as a matter of course in the publishing industry, though admittedly not usually on a scale so wide. That's almost half of all Marvel comics coming out in September were actually originally planned for August. And Marvel Comics aren't dealing with this for the very first time now. This has been ongoing for quite a while. Obviously, it was hitting DC a little bit harder earlier, and now it is really hitting Marvel Comics. And you would have thought by now they would have come up with a plan to kind of deal with this and really mitigate some of the issues that are affecting their publishing efforts. Specifically with a big event like AXE coming out, I think most of us will remember reading Devil's Reign. And there were issues that obviously were released before things that were supposed to come afterwards. And all of a sudden you're getting big spoilers on big events and moments within the Devil's Reign event itself. You don't want a repeat of that kind of stuff because it really throws people off. And you're giving them a reason not to go buy the other comic book if they had read it in order, because you're spoiling the things. I'm a bit surprised that C.B. Cebulski, Tom Brevoort, and others haven't been able to get a grasp on this thing. Now let's talk about the comic books themselves that have been delayed. Alien #1, AXE Death of the Mutants #2, Black Panther #9, Immortal X-Men #6, Marauders #6, New Fantastic Four, Venom #11, Amazing Spider-Man #9, AXE Judgment Day #4, Captain Marvel 41, Daredevil #3, Hulk #10, Iron Man 23, Predator #2, Spider-Punk #5, Star Wars The Mandalorian #3, X-Men 92, House of 92 #5, X-Men Red #6, Avengers Forever #9, Avengers #60, AXE tie-in, Carnage #6, Fantastic Four #47, AXE tie-in, Legion of X #5, Strange #6, Ant-Man #3, Defenders Beyond #3, Genis Vale Captain Marvel #3, Star Wars Dr. Aphra #24, Star Wars Han Solo and Chewbacca #6, Thor 28, Wild Cards, The Drawing of Cards #3. There are some significant titles in there. You wouldn't expect them to allow this big AXE Judgment Day event that they're trying to sell you, and they want it to do well, to have all these delays. It's going to put the story out of order, and it's really going to frustrate people. And they should be concentrating on a lot of their lower selling kind of miniseries type titles and put them on the back burner and let them get delayed. I'm shocked that they haven't prioritized a lot of their bigger selling titles. You shouldn't be delaying Fantastic Four. You shouldn't be delaying AXE Judgment Day. You shouldn't be delaying your X-Men titles, since a lot of those are kind of your best-selling stuff, and you're expecting this event to really elevate some of the sales on your middling X-Men titles as it is. So I think it's been poor management. It's going to cause a lot of people to get frustrated. Within a week, all the information I give you here might be out of date. It's insane that they haven't been able to get a grasp on this. But they are still going to charge you a premium for a lot of their characters. Let's get into Marvel Comics by the numbers. Talk about how many comic books are going to come out, how much is it going to cost you, all that good stuff. Marvel Comics are releasing 70 new comics in September 2022. Of those, 7 are #1 issues. 10% of all new comics will be #1 issues for a total of $33 or $4.71. Not bad at all. Marvel Comics typically give you an upcharge to $5 for #1 issues. Obviously, there are a few of them in there that are going to be $4. If you're a Spider-Man fan and you got to have every Spider-Man related comic, you are in luck. There are only 8 new Spider-Man comics coming out in September. 11% of all new comic books will feature Spider-Man or a Spider-Man related character for a total of $35 or $4.37 per issue. A very good price. Now, if you're an X-Men fan, I've got bad news. They are once again bending you over and taking advantage of you. 16 new X-Men comics coming out in September. 23% of all new comics from Marvel are X-Men comics because of this big event. $72 in total, or $4.50 per issue on average. That is a lot of cheddar if you are an X-Men fan. It is really shocking because of the lack of quality across the board right now that they're really forcing so many bad X-Men comic books down your throat. Obviously, the event that is tying in the X-Men does play into that, but you need to bring it back on the X-Men, get that back down to about 10, and maybe we can talk about it, but right now that is far too many X-Men. Star Wars fans definitely have it the best. 8 new Star Wars comics. 11% of all new comics are Star Wars for $34 in total, or $4.25 on average. A very nice price. If you are an AXE Judgment Day fan, you got to have the big event. 12 new comics in total. 17% of all new comics are AXE Judgment Day. $52 in total, or $4.33 on average. So you're still getting charged a little bit more for the AXE Judgment Day series themselves, but for the most part, everything else is $4, including the Amazing Spider-Man, Fantastic Four. Those are all $4, except for, I believe, the Wolverine issue is $5. They're taking it easy on Judgment Day fans in September of 2022, but that is a very big event, and it is being delayed massively, and you'd think they would have been able to do it better. So those are Marvel Comics by the numbers. Let's talk about the solicitations themselves. Like I said, I will try to not cover anything I've covered before. I think we can get this one done in under 20 minutes. Let's get to all the details. First up, we have AXE Judgment Day 4 of 6. We have already covered this one, but we do get AXE Judgment Day 5 of 6, Kieran Gillen, Valerio Schiti, $5 once again, and no information about the story itself, but from the look of the cover, something big has arrived. I imagine it's the Eternals. AXE Avengers #1, Kieran Gillen, Federico Vicentini, the first of 3 Story Essential Judgment Day one-shots. Tony Stark spent his life building suits to protect him. Now he has to enter a suit of armor that could kill us all. Can he survive? Can anyone? $5. X-Force 32, Ben Percy, Robert Gill, Craven takes his hunt to Krakoa to prove he is the apex predator, and not even the mutants, the so-called dominant species, are a match for his prowess. Will this spell the end of the X-Force and mutantdom as we know it? I thought the Eternals were supposed to spell the end of X-Force and mutants as we know them. You know what I mean? Why the hell is Craven teaming up with them? Are they going to reveal he was a deviant or something? Whatever. Wolverine 25, Ben Percy, Federico Vicentini, Adam Kubert, Klaus Janson, Emma Kubert, Kyle Charles, Juan Ferreira, and Andrea DeVito. This is a tie-in, but obviously it's being treated as a milestone as well, so I'm imagining we're going to get some stories that aren't part of it. That's kind of stupid. A desperate race to the top of the world forces Wolverine to team up with Solemn. I think that boat has sailed. They did not get that over. A rough and tumble 25th issue celebratory story with an array of artists ready to unleash some adamantium-laced action. All Out Avengers #1, Derek Landy and Greg Land. An alien attack, a missing piece of wormhole tech, a city warped, its citizens transformed into hideous creatures loyal to an empress from the far side of the universe, and a certain Captain Marvel, looking to her fellow Avengers with murderous intent, plunge into the action and take a deep breath because you will not be allowed up for air as a thrilling new series kicks off in the strongest, strangest way possible. I have no idea why they're making this comic book. The Avengers aren't very hot, at least in comic books right now. Savage Avengers didn't do all that well for the very first issue. Avengers isn't selling at all. Avengers Forever isn't selling at all. I don't know that now is the time for All Out Avengers, another Avengers story that people can skip. Greg Land, he's doing all right. We'll get to see some O-Face on Captain Marvel, so I guess that will be a highlight. And I don't think Derek Landy brings any asses to the seats. I don't think he sells anything. Fortnite, X Marvel, Zero War, 5 of 5, Christos Gage, Donald Muster, the end of the Marvel Fortnite crossover for $6. I hope you enjoy it. Midnight Suns #1 of 5, Ethan Sachs, Luigi Zagaria. A dark prophecy and apocalyptic new villains with horrifying powers, the likes of which the Earth has never faced, before ordains a team of Midnight Suns to rise and tear bad word up. Magic, Wolverine, Blade, Spirit Rider, and Nico Minoru. But what does this new threat have to do with the Sorcerer Supreme's past? And why is Strange Academy student Zoe Laveau #1 on the Suns list? I do like Wolverine, but at this point, I don't know that Wolverine is enough to sell me on a comic book I'm not all that interested in, with a bunch of characters that I don't know that I want to read about. I do like Blade. Magic's okay, but the other characters, like, there's enough goddamn Ghost Riders. Let me put it that way. Spirit Rider needs to get out. Like, do something different. Marvel Voices Community #1. Speaking of things I don't care about. Fabian Nicieza, Alex Segura, Edgar Delgado, and more with Paco Medina and more. I don't read these. I don't really like modern day anthologies as it is, and I certainly don't waste my time on these craps. If you want to spend $6 for a bunch of crappy stories about heroes you don't like, I say go for it. But I'm not the one. Edge of the Spider-Verse, number 4 of 5, Dan Slott, David Hine, and Irene Sankoff with T. Franklin. Is it an anthology? What is going on here? You know the first two, but you may not remember the Amazing Sun Spider, who debuted in 2020's Spider-Verse miniseries as a winner of our Spider-Sona contest. She gets her own story here. Okay, that doesn't sell me. And Spinstress is a brand new spider princess who sings, talks to a spider, and kicks villainous butt. And the writers of the Broadway smash hit Come From Away are bringing her in for a landing. That's a skipperoonie right there. Edge of Spider-Verse number 5. Dan Slott, Steve Fox, Lord and Miller. Okay, we actually have some talented people in this one. 3 brand new spiders get their start here. I thought this was the end of the Spider-Verse. Why are we introducing new spider people? So this is my lock of the month. I'm not going with any new comic books. Marvel's been way too inconsistent nowadays, but if this is a 2-for-1 special, Amazing Spider-Man number 1 facsimile edition, Stan Lee and Steve Ditko for $4. Yes, please. Jack Kirby, Steve Ditko cover. Absolutely, this is going to be amazeballs. $4, you can't beat that. But there's more. It's a 2-for-1 special because we are getting Amazing Spider-Man Annual number 1 facsimile edition. This one's $8, but it is a double-size issue. Stan Lee and Steve Ditko. Absolutely, this is the comic books, or these are the 2 comic books that are absolutely worth your time and money because most modern Marvel comic books just aren't all that interesting. If you don't have reader copies of Amazing Spider-Man number 1 or Amazing Spider-Man Annual number 1, get these facsimile editions. They are absolutely worth it, and they are an amazing gateway to the past so you can see how comic books were great at one time. Absolutely, this is the lock of the month, no doubt. New Mutants number 30, Vita Ayala and Alyssa Wong for $6. I don't want to live in a world where Marvel Comics thinks it's appropriate to charge me $6 and give me extra pages of Vita Ayala and Alyssa Wong. You know what I mean? What the hell has happened to comic books? What has happened to Marvel Comics? Jordan White is plenty incompetent, and I'm going to talk about that more in depth later in the week, but this is ridiculous. Nobody wants to spend $6 on mediocre comic books. X-Men number 15, Jerry Duggan, CF Via. The Children of the Vault are returning. Oh, let's look at this. Interesting. I like the Children of the Vault story well enough because Jonathan Hickman wrote it. Jerry Duggan, we'll see about it. The Children of the Vault, hyper-evolved humans from a society whose time moves much faster than our own. Each time the X-Men defeat them, they retreat to their home, evolving further into a new, more advanced generation. This time, they will not be stopped so easily. I don't know, last time it took them like 150 years to stop them, so I don't think that was easy, especially if you were, what's his name, Sync? Sync was not happy. He still remembers everything that happened to him, so I'm going to say he didn't think it was that easy. Gambit number 3, Chris Claremont, Sid Kotian. This will definitely be worth your time and money. The problem, Gambit and Rowe have been a thorn in the side of Mogul Solars. The solution, the mercenary Warhawk takes the fight to our heroes. The rebuttal, Remy gears up in his new suit. Marissa De Castro dons the classic armor, and Rowe joins them for a knockdown, drag-out fight along the Mississippi. You sold me, Chris Claremont. You damn well sold me. I think this is going to be fantastic, and it's definitely one of the comic books I personally am looking forward to. And what else do we get with this? A beautiful Whilce Portacio cover. Look at that. They do not make them like that anymore, folks. If you like Whilce Portacio, definitely get this cover. You're going to want to support it. X-Men Legends number 2, Roy Thomas, Dave Walker. Wolverine versus the X-Men. I think I'm going to like this one. Department H has sent their operative Weapon X, aka Wolverine, on a mission to retrieve dangerous individuals who just so happen to be mutants known as the X-Men. But what sinister forces are moving the mutants against each other, and how does it play into Wolverine's eventual membership on the team? At last, X-Men and Marvel legend Roy Thomas reveals a missing link between Wolverine's appearance in Hulk 182 and joining the X-Men and giant-sized X-Men. Now you've got me intrigued. We've talked about 2 comic books that were very important, 2 of the most important comics of Marvel Comics history, and you're linking them together with Roy Thomas, one of the greatest creators in Marvel Comics history. I should have called this my lock of the month, but I'm going to have to stick with those facsimile editions. But this one is a close second. You should be reading this. This is going to be dynamite. X-Men Unlimited, X-Men Green number 2, Jerry Duggan, Emilio Liso. This is one of the grossest comic books Marvel has ever put out, and I cannot believe people have not been fired over it. That's how bad I think this thing is. Exterminators #1, Leah Williams, Carlos Gomez. This isn't on the list of comic books that were delayed from August, but I swear to God I covered this, and it looks awful. Miss Marvel and Venom #1, Jody Hauser, Dave Walker. I'm not going to pay $5 for Miss Marvel anything, just not my character. Venom's on the hunt, but who is hunting Venom? Who cares? That's really the answer, right? Ultraman, The Mystery of Ultra 7, 2 of 5, Kyle Higgins and Matt Groom. David Tinto on art. Shin's powerless and trapped in the lion's den. With the walls closing in, all hope rests on unraveling the decades-long past mystery that led to the USP at this point. I like Ultraman. I like the comic book. It just I fell off and I'm not coming back. That's all I got to say. It's aight. I like Kyle Higgins, but this is aight. Damage Control #2, Adam F. Goldberg and Hans Rodionoff. Captain America, Symbol of Truth #5, Tochi Onyebuchi, RB Silva. So this comic book is still important because RB Silva is still on there. It's a showdown between Cap and Black Panther with the fate of two countries on the line. And when the dust settles, who will pay the price for Sam Wilson's incursion into Wakanda? Meanwhile, Falcon uncovers a piece of evidence that changes the scope of the mission and exposes the White Wolf's ultimate motive. At least they're playing it on what they set up in issue #1, which was perfectly fine. It wasn't bad at all. We'll see what happens with this. The last comic book that the writer wrote was awful. We'll see if he can keep it up. Captain America, Sentinel of Liberty #4, Colin Kelly, Jackson Lansing, Carmen Carnero. Obviously, they don't care if this one succeeds, and that's why Carmen Carnero is the artist. First issue wasn't terrible. It could have been worse. I don't believe Colin Kelly and Jackson Lansing can keep up that kind of momentum. You know what I'm saying? I have no faith in them whatsoever. Savage Avengers #5, David Pepos, Carlos Magno. The comic book, I don't understand why it even exists. Why even relaunch it if they knew they were losing the Conan license? He's literally the star of the damn team. Jane Foster and the Mighty Thor #4, Torn Grunbeck, Michael Dowling. Asgard's defenses have been breached. Its warriors battered, and still more legions are unleashed against them. The chaos and destruction seems to be fueling some great dark power, but to what end? Before she can find what lurks in the shadows and save the Golden Realm, Jane Foster must first save Thor. Of course she needs to save Thor. Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings #3, Gene Yang, Marcus To. They literally just introduced the 10 rings in Iron Man #20, right? Wasn't that the last page? You can't overdo these concepts when you have them bouncing around comic books like at the exact same time. I don't get that at all. She-Hulk #7, Rainbow Rowell, Luca Maresca. This comic book is actually selling much better than you would anticipate. People are enjoying the return to the She-Hulk that everyone knows and loves from the John Byrne era. After the earthquake that was She-Hulk #6, She-Hulk knows she has some work to do and a humdinger of a mystery to solve. You will not be able to predict what she finds. Probably not. The Variants #4, Gail Simone. Mech Strike Monster Hunters #4. I like Christos Gage. I don't know why Marvel and DC are doing these comics so stupid. Moon Knight #15, Jed MacKay, Alessandro Cappuccio. The very best ongoing series Marvel Comics are putting out right now. Moon Knight needs information and must rely on his old allies to get it for him. Secrets are ferreted out from the steamiest gutters to the highest seats of power, while Moon Knight must reveal a hidden truth to the closest to him. Not very exciting as far as solicitations go. Good use of the word ferreted, I guess. I'm going to read it because it's been great so far, and I imagine it will continue to be great. Punisher #6, Jason Aaron, Jesus Saez, Paul Azucena. Frank Castle wants to end his war once and for all, but standing in his way is none other than the god of war himself, Ares, who sees the Punisher as his greatest disciple, a disciple who has forgotten his true self and must be reminded of the ways of the war. I don't know. I don't even know what to think of the Punisher anymore. He's doing a lot of damage to the character, but the story behind it is somewhat interesting and engaging to me. I'll keep reading it, I guess, but it's been disappointing, just the kind of stuff Jason Aaron's done to Frank Castle. Miles Morales, Spider-Man 42, Saladin Ahmed. Nah, mate. Iron Cat #4, Jed MacKay, Barry Perez. Iron Cat's vendetta against Felicia Hardy has produced some deadly consequences. Tony Stark's old nemesis, the sinister AI known as Madam Menace, has been unleashed. Jed MacKay's got a little work to do to get his reputation up there to where I'm willing to step in on anything, but Iron Cat is less interesting than you can possibly imagine to me. Thunderbolts 2 of 5, Jim Zub, Sean Izaki. Now, Daredevil was resolicited, but you got to look at this cover from Chichetto. Look at that thing. That is nasty. That is a good-looking cover there. You know what I'm saying? Ghost Rider #6, Ben Percy, Brent Peoples. We've already lost the artist. That was absolutely amazing on the first couple issues. The third issue of Ghost Rider was confusing. The first two issues were really interesting, and then the third issue just kind of fell off. I don't know what happened, but hopefully Ben Percy can right the ship. Hulk #10, Donny Cates, Ryan Otley. Hulk Planet Part 2. I'll come back to Hulk after Hulk Planet. It's just one of the dumbest names and concept. Like, don't even get me started. I like Donny Cates to a degree, but get the fuck out of here. Thor 28, Donny Cates, Salvador LaRocca, Thor versus Venom round 2. Okay, we're just gonna do Thor versus other hero like fights, or Thor versus anti-hero fights. Is that what all Thor is gonna be? Has Donny Cates ran out of Thor stories to tell? I guess that's the question. That's what it looks like. Star Wars Visions #1, Takashi Ozaki, writing and illustrating. From the creative mind behind Star Wars The Visions episode, The Duel comes an all-new story. Takashi Ozaki from Afro Samurai is continuing his storytelling from the acclaimed Star Wars Visions episode, The Duel, featuring the Ronin. The mythology of Star Wars infused with elements of feudal Japan makes this issue a must-read for Star Wars and manga fans alike. $5. I'll tell you by the cover. I want to read it. You know what I mean? I'll probably check this out. I haven't been excited for a Star Wars comic book in quite some time. You know, normally Obi-Wan Kenobi would have done it, but Chris Cantwell's on it. I should have been up for Han Solo, Chewbacca, but they've just been ruining everything lately. Maybe this is what I need to get me excited for Star Wars. I am going to read this, and hopefully I review it right here on the channel because it's awesome. Star Wars Obi-Wan #5 finally put out of his misery of Christopher can't write well, writing the goddamn series. I don't know why they picked him out to do this. I wouldn't touch this with a 10-foot pole after seeing what he did to Tony Stark, another character that I like. Don't love as much as Obi-Wan, but my goodness. Get Christopher Cantwell back to Humanoid or Black Mask or whatever publisher actually fits his writing acumen. He is not a good Marvel writer. He's terrible. Star Wars Bounty Hunters 27, Ethan Sachs, Paolo Villanelli, desperate for credits. Tonga and the Bounty Hunters take a dangerous job for the Pikes, but is Tasu Leech ready to take on the Kanji Club? And Valance makes a decision that will change everything. I'm pretty sure Kanji Club was from the sequel trilogy. Star Wars 27, Charles Soule Andres Geroldet, The Good People. The Empire's greatest secret is in the hands of 2 Crimson Dawn double agents who are racing to deliver it to the Rebel Alliance to buy themselves safe haven, but the Empire knows what they've stolen, and the entire Imperial Navy is in hot pursuit. I like chase stories. That should be fine. Star Wars Darth Vader 27, Greg Pak, Raphael Ainko. The alliance between Darth Vader and Sabe has always seemed destined to disaster. After all, how long can the Dark Lord of the Sith and the idealistic handmaiden of the Padme Amidala find common ground? That's why I'm not reading the story, because that's absolutely stupid. So those are your Marvel Comics solicitations for September of 2022. Lots of resolicits. I tried to skip all of them if I could. If I covered one or two on accident, I do apologize. I was trying not to waste too much time here. Now, I did talk about all these delays several months ago, and maybe some of the things that Marvel Comics could do to really turn this to their advantage. Obviously, they've done none of that. Marvel Comics could be doing some good with all the negative that's happening right now, but they've chosen to keep fumbling along aimlessly and kind of failing. It's really surprising.